Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is Stock Trade Ideas for the week of August 18th. And today is Sunday, August 17th, and we're going to take a look at several of these trade ideas. We're going to review 3 that we exited last week, 6 more that we're currently in, and then 3 more that we're watching for. We've got it on our watch list. Okay, we're starting off here with Kandi Technologies. We got in Kandi here on this day. We got in right around 18, I believe. We got the pop up to, my first initial short-term target. We sold half, made some money on the first half, and then when it started to pull back, got basically stopped out on the second half at break even. So, made a minor up 13%, 5 trading days. A little disappointed this didn't run, you just never know. I mean, you never know. And, I really thought that this had a possibility of at least challenging this and breaking it, but it didn't. SoFun, similar type thing. Now, this had a big move. Should have been probably a little more cautious getting in. We got in here with calls. Again, thought that we were getting a strong move, which we were, and we're going to break this kind of a head and shoulders pattern in here. What I'm seeing here, like here, and here, okay? But, we came a long way, and so we got that resistance at the trend line. So right now, when you look, so we're in here, and then when I got to close below the previous 2 days lows, I just said, okay, I'm out. And we ended up, I think, down 10%, 4 days. So, minor hit. So that's it on SoFun. On Sina, we got in here on this day, right near the close, I believe. And then we got the pop after earnings, and we made some, but because of the pullback, they popped the bid and asked on the premiums as they started to pull this back. And so therefore, I exited the first half up into here, and the second half got stopped out near the close, I believe. And so we only made 11%, but it was 2 days. So again, can't complain about that. I was hoping it would run, and it may run. It may run. Broke this trend line. I mean, it may go a little bit further, but I'm in the, I wasn't going to sit there and risk the profit that I had made on the first half. So that's just the way it goes. Hopefully it'll set something else up for us. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. We've been in this for a while. Got in it here on the 17th. Actually, 2020 hindsight, I should have got in here on the 10th, about 2 points higher up. The only other caution I would say, because the earnings came out here, and then, the earnings, their earnings were up, but their outlook was down, I believe. And then, the stock's been selling off. And this is what I've been expecting, because it wasn't acting right, and I've been expecting a big ABC move in terms of a correction. I think Keurig Green Mountain is in a big corrective mode here. So right now I'm still trying to ride it, but we had this big discussion about a week or two ago, or a week ago, about staying in during an earnings report. I don't have any problem staying in during an earnings report. If you believe it's a really bearish scenario or a really bullish scenario, that chances are the reaction to things is going to be with the trend. But the mistake here, honestly, was that I probably should have had more of a kind of a 50 delta, 50 time premium intrinsic value type thing on the option, because after the earnings report they cut the premium in half. And so even though I had Septembers that are clear out over here, we still got another month on them from here now. They cut the premium dramatically on it, and a lot of times they do that as you're leading into an earnings report. So I guess the only caution is coming into an earnings report. I don't have a problem playing it, like say, I get in the position a week in advance or even a couple of days in advance or whatever. It's just choosing the right option. And in this case, I chose one that was all time premium and And that hurt me on this position. Now, it still may work out because I'm going to try to ride this. And if this continues to ride on down, I'll be okay. But we'll see. And so that's kind of a lessons learned, a little bit of a lesson on taking the option position and watching the delta and how much, time premium. And when I'm talking about time premium, I call time premium that whole extrinsic value that includes implied volatility in it. So what they really did was slash the implied volatility. Okay, the next one is US Steel. All right, so we got in here and then we got the pop through earnings, and I exited the first half up here. We're actually less than half, 8 out of 18. So I've got 10 out of 18 I'm still holding. And I've adjusted, and I'm really debating on what I'm going to do here because I'm trying to stay in, but I'm not getting any divergence. Okay, this is on the demand index. I'm getting a little bit of divergence on demand index, a little bit, I guess, on DI plus. So I am 2 out of 3. I am getting divergence on. I'm not getting it on the RSI. So I don't want to overweight the RSI too much because 2 out of 3 are giving me divergence. So maybe I will just stick with the way I've got it currently set up on the trade ideas. I mean, it's just, you just never know what's going to work. I mean, one time you say, well, I'm going to trail a stop if it breaks the low of the last 3 days. Well, then you get whipped out. Well, I'm going to trail a stop if it closes below the low of the last 2 days, and then you get whipped out. I mean, you just, you never know, because sometimes it'll work for a couple of months and sometimes it won't. And you just have to pick something and just go with it. And so we're still trying to ride that one, and right now it's working out okay. So let's see, the next one we're going to look at is Whole Foods Market. We got in here with calls, and we're still in here, but the only thing in here that I'm a little bit watching carefully is that I do think that we've had 5 waves down, and we're trying to get going a new move to the upside here, and there's a good possibility it'll try to break this trend line. And because it's a flatter trend line than, say, this trend line, I think there's a good chance it'll pop. And I'm looking for it to come up here and test 43 is what I'm thinking. But sometimes you get a lot of choppiness as you try to get going. Let me see if there's another example. I mean, look at all the choppiness as it's trying to get going down here before it actually breaks out. So that's my only caution I've got on this right now. But so far, so good on Whole Foods, and we'll see if it can get rolling. Apple, on the other hand, is moving in the right direction. We got in here on this day. And I do think we've got a little bit of an expanding diagonal wave, and I do think it's the 5th little bracketed wave here, sub-minuet, or wherever you want to call it. We've got a lot of sub-waves in here because of the move. But right now, I am looking for it. It would move to the target where I'm talking about would be new all-time highs, but I think it's got a chance of getting there, and so we'll see. If we back this off, you can see the move that it's been in since down here. And because of the 1 2 1 2 1 2, just the way this has been overlapping, that's why we've gotten this breakdown into these subwaves kind of thing. So right now everything is still looking bullish in terms of the way it's tracking, but we are going to be completing a 5th wave up here when we get to the top here. The 5th wave of this, okay? And then we're back to being the completion of the 3rd wave here. It'll complete the 3rd wave there, I believe. I'll have to double check that, but right now I'm focused just on this. Okay, that's and then Rackspace. Rackspace, we got in at right near the close here. This is a different type of play. This is not a trend following or working with the 10 exponential moving average. This is more of a reversal type play. That we've got a counter trend play was the word I was searching for. My mind was just going blank for a moment, but yeah, so this is what we've got in here. So far it's going in our direction, and I'm expecting it to break out above the high bar here, and we'll see if we can't get it to run a little bit. And I do think that this is bottomed. There's a good chance that this is bottomed anyway. Let's put it that way. And I do think we have a possibility of a head and shoulders. Now we'll see what kind of a move this makes trying to get up to this trend line. But you've got let me back off the bigger picture into the bigger picture. I do think that we've had a big corrective move down here, and now we've had a wave 1, and that this was a wave 2 pullback, and that we're trying to get a wave 3 up to the upside that would break in here. So, you know, this, you know, this type of thing. And now that's what I'm looking at. Now we'll see if this continues to play along with that. You know, it's good to have some kind of a, what you want to do is have some kind of vision as to where you think, what do you think the stock's doing, and that way you're always taking little checkpoints along the way. So, well, is it continuing to do what I think it's, you know, I thought it might do? And if it is, then it just kind of reinforces, and you can look for possibilities to maybe add into your position, kind of, you know, kind of thing. So right now it's looking good, and we'll see if we can't get it to pop. All right, I'm on the wrong one here. The next one is Seagate Technology. Okay, so Seagate, we got in on Friday, and we got in, it opened up here and it pulled back, and we got in, we were trying to get in near the close of Thursday, and I think it did that. And so actually, because I was a little concerned about this, I thought this was bullish. Basically took a half a position here. I have another entry point right up in here that I'm looking to add a second half, and because that's going to reinforce that it's doing exactly what I think it's going to do. My only caution here is I think we might have completed 4 waves, and so we're in a 5th wave, but this looks bullish to me. This kind of a pattern, this kind of a swing move pattern, I like seeing. And, you know, you see it, you know, here with these pivot points, and you get that nice little trend line across the top, and then you break up through it. So that's what we're looking at here on Seagate Technologies. Okay, that's it for the positions, the trades that we have on. All right, so 3 that I'm looking at, that I'm watching. Cliffs Natural Resources. Cliffs, I think, again, has had major correction here. 5 big waves back down. Let me back all the way out of this. I mean, when you look at this, I am thinking, this is from the 2008 high, and I'm thinking you've had 1, 2, and 3. So the real question is this corrective move done? And I think we are started getting divergence down in here. So that's why I started looking at this saying, well, let's look to see, you know, are we getting 5 major waves down? And I believe that we did. And so looking to see if this starts to turn and get 5 waves up and breaking trend lines, and it's starting to do that. So it's breaking this trend line. I think we had 5 minor waves up into here. This has actually corrected 50% of this move, which it's a little deceiving, but if you do the Fibonacci retracement on this here, well, actually, I guess it hasn't quite gotten to 50% yet. It's probably 43%. So kind of watching this for an entry. I'm not saying to buy it right now, but I'm watching it. Okay, so that's Cliffs Natural Resources. And the next one is e-commerce China Dang. And someone mentioned, I apologize, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Chris mentioned on the website that, you know, he thought they had some nice Elliott wave curves in here. And, you know, I agree. I think that this, I think it was Dang he was talking about. You know, I do think that we are in a 3rd primary wave up that we're trying to get going on. And I think we've got 1, 2, maybe 3rd minor wave in here, because it looks like 5 waves, and now pulling back. Now, the key is if this is really a 4th minor wave, it can't go below this high of this 1 in here, okay? So watching this one to see if we get a little reversal and close above the 10, then that'll be my first alert that we need to be thinking about possibly getting back into this. Again, this one I think might be doing a big head and shoulders, and I don't know. That's a pretty huge head and shoulders bottom, but we'll have to see if it continues to get this kind of a strong move. I mean, you look at the kind of thrust that it did here. So anyway, that's e-commerce China Dang. And the last one is revisiting SoFun. Again, I kind of mentioned this, that, you know, I like the fact that it's head and shoulders in here. We'll have to watch to see if we get some kind of re-entry trigger back in here to get back in. So that's on my watch list. So, all right, that's a lot of stocks to talk about, but that's it for today. So we'll be back tomorrow night with a checkpoint after the first day of trading, see how things are going, and then you know, maybe an update on some of the of these trade ideas if something's happened with them. We'll check in on them for the day. So everyone have a great Monday. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you liked the video and thought it was helpful, please share it on social media. Just click one of the buttons and tweet it or share it on Facebook or wherever. It'd be great. And if you're not a subscriber, just click the little red box I've got here and download the PDF and follow me so you can get access to the Trade Ideas webpage and get updates on posts and things like that. So anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Have a great Monday, everyone.